So on this week's episode of the Crushing Debt Podcast, is it too early to talk about holiday gift ideas? So welcome back. This is Shawn Yesner, owner and founder of Yesner Law, and back live with me after missing a week, George Curbello, your financial coach. Welcome back, George.
Whip, 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 whip. Yeah. Was that too much? It was, yeah.
Probably.
Doing well, man. Doing well. I'm sorry. Thank you for, for giving me an excuse last week. Unfortunately, it was a combination of just meetings and just things that I had to do, responsible adulting that I had to do. So
It was,
but I'm back.
hosting the show by myself was just like riding a bike.
You sounded good.
It was an old, rusty, falling apart bike that was on fire. But yeah, I was able to co-host
with
the
Cassandra.
show by myself.
You had a great interview there with your Cassandra, was it?
Yeah.
With the financial, it was really, really good.
She's really smart. I really did like the book. I wasn't just saying it because of the interview. I thought it was a really good book.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask. I need a copy. I need to go on Amazon and get myself a copy.
Yeah, maybe, or just ask nicely. My copy's sitting there on the shelf.
Well,
but
there you go.
Yeah, we are back. And is it too early to think about the holidays?
Well, my kids are. I mean, I imagine your kids have already said, "Well, Dad, here's what I want for Christmas. You better start saving."
Well, so the problem is, like I said with Cassandra last week, my son is now 12. So his birthday is. Thank you. He made it. I didn't kill him before he got to 12. His birthday's in October. So it's always, I always, from my parents, always said to me, once we get close to birthdays and holidays and that kind of stuff, and I would ask for something, they would say, well, your birthday's coming up, or the holidays are coming up, or this is coming up, or that is coming up. And so I've been doing that with my kids. And so, they're asking for things, and I'm like, once we get within that 1 to 2 month window of the holidays, I'm not buying it. Although, so when we recorded with Cassandra last week, we hadn't yet had my son's birthday party. Now we've had my son's birthday party. This dude got almost $500 in cash and gift cards.
Dang.
From his friends collectively.
Okay.
For his birthday.
You got good friends.
Apparently. So I'm like, yeah, they're added to the bar mitzvah list now too.
You're coming to that party too.
Wow.
Buddy.
But
that's great.
He spent $100 of Amazon gift cards on soccer cards.
Okay.
That's what he wanted. Those soccer cards.
Soccer cards.
I'm like, dude, it's your money.
I thought it was Pokemon, but okay.
It's your money. Go for it. So,
okay.
Anyway, meanwhile, is it too early to start thinking about holiday shopping?
Well, let's put this into perspective. If you mean holiday of like Thanksgiving and Christmas, you would think, but it's Halloween, brother. So yeah, Halloween shopping is already. Are you kidding me? Are your Halloween decorations up? Because you need the full month to really engage in the holidays already.
I'm gonna put my decorations up tomorrow. My decorations will go up. But I went to Costco last week to do my regular Costco shopping, and instead of having like 3 racks of Halloween costumes, they had 1 rack of Halloween costumes. But all the Christmas stuff is out.
Oh, wow. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I saw that too with the lighting and the trees.
The lights, the trees, the wrapping paper.
Have you seen anybody in the neighborhoods yet with their Christmas tree up? Because I have, which is kind of nervousness. But
my neighborhood, I think we just changed the law.
HOAs.
We just changed the governing documents. Mm-hmm. I think once October comes, you can start putting up Christmas lights. In the neighborhood. It used to be
that's nuts.
It used to be Halloween until like the first week of Thanksgiving or the first week of November. And then from Thanksgiving to the first week of January, it was Christmas lights.
Makes sense. That makes more sense than
we got rid
October.
of that. We got rid of that 3-week gap. So once your Halloween lights go up, they can stay up through the beginning of the new year.
So yes, I would say it's a little early to think about Christmas. But I'd imagine there's going to be some tips that let us, it makes sense that you start planning now.
And I think that's more the point of the show that I wanted to have today is not necessarily the giving, but more the planning.
Yeah.
And I remember when growing up, my mom would start shopping in like September. and she would wrap
Yeah.
presents, and she would just let them accumulate by the side of her bed, and then we would get the presents on Hanukkah. But she would start shopping like September.
Yeah, my wife, Chris does. She does also. She looks at it as, again, sales and looking for opportunities to kind of save some money on that. But I think she just doesn't want to get hung up on the holiday rush. She doesn't want to be in the mall the week before or trying to get deals at that point. So I think it's just more of a, I'd rather do it, at my time than on the marketing and the retail time that's expected.
Which makes sense. So we found a couple of articles, and actually this one article is from gobankingrates.com.
Right.
And yeah, one of the things on here is early shopping. Go holiday shopping early. It's a list of 29 things.
Too many already.
But holiday shopping early is number 11.
That makes sense. Number 11?
Number
Not
11.
even number 1.
No, we got to go
11.
all the way to 11 to go holiday shopping early.
It's always about planning early, and it gives you enough time to save. The one thing that we want to kind of put, again, it's not about creating debt, right? We want more money at the end of the month, right?
Right.
That's the catchphrase. I think a lot of this is we leave our shopping for the last minute. What ends up happening is we think we're going to get the best deals, which I personally, from a retail, I think they mark up the prices to then give you those discounts. So again, I've seen that kind of thing happen,
right?
Especially Black Friday, all of those deals that you get. So okay, but for me, I think it's you get to that point where it's I don't know. We don't want to go into debt. We don't want to put it on the credit card just because we need to buy something for the cousin or the neighbor I don't like. It just doesn't make sense for me from that perspective.
Well, I mean, the other way to look at it then is you start your holiday planning. Even in January.
Yeah.
And you just set aside
for the year.
An account. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You just have an account set aside. You collect money in that account. And then when you get to October, November, December, you can start shopping with that money.
That makes total sense. I'm still surprised when working with clients where it's like, hey, Christmas is the same day every year. Your anniversary is the same day every year. Your birthday is the same day every. How can we not plan for those things?
But no, last year my birthday was on a Thursday, and this year my birthday's on a Friday.
Gotcha. No. The same date then. Let me put it like that. Whoa.
That is one of the jokes that I bring up every year. I say that, this year, what you all call Christmas, us who are Jewish call Monday.
There you go. I love it.
But meanwhile, 29 ways to save on holiday gifts. Number one here is buy discounted gift cards. And I think there's another one on the list that's kind of similar. You can go here, buy bulk gift cards at warehouse stores. So I know if I go to Costco,
Yep.
I can get $100 worth of gift cards for $80.
Yep.
And so I'm saving $20, but whoever I get the gift cards for still gets
the full value.
Gets the full $100 value. I only paid $80.
Yep. I do like that.
And then, from our TikTok episode a few weeks ago, it would be free.
It would be free if you use your gift card. Yeah, okay, I'm not going there.
But number 1 and number 4 on this list is to buy discounted gift cards or bulk gift cards. Number 2, I don't like. Shop with a reward. And we won't go through all of them. But number
rewards, credit cards, or anything like that. You got to be careful.
You got to be
careful.
This
is debt. It's using debt to collect points.
Right.
And I understand that if you want to, but here's the thing. If you're going to do that route, pay off the card at the end of the month. That's the only, you still stick to that principle. But I agree. Anything that's creating more debt, it's not going to be helpful when we talk about getting out of debt.
Right. And sort of along those same lines, the number 3 here is cash in on gift card special promotions. So what that is the promotions where they say if you buy $50 worth of gift cards, we'll give you an extra $10 gift card.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or if you buy $50 worth of stuff, we'll give you a $10 gift card. So cash in on those kinds of things.
I like that. That's good too.
Yeah, they said specifically here, take advantage of Kohl's Cash. That type of
talk
program.
about sales placement, product placement.
Placement.
But they do. I think what that means is the same concept. You go and spend a certain amount of money. You earn cash specific to that store that you can use a week later.
Right.
So it's like, oh, you spend $50, we'll give you $40. And what ends up happening is you can use that money for future purchases.
Yeah.
So again, makes the product free as we.
Which makes it free. Here's an interesting one that at first I was like, whoa, but then something my family did. It said skip the gift exchange altogether. And on the one hand, you're like,
here.
But on the other, so I specifically remember in my family, all the parents so my mom and dad, my aunts and uncles, they all got together. I forget how old I was, but at one point they all got together and said, hey, listen, we know we love each other, or at least like each other. We're not going to get each other gifts anymore. All the kids of my generation, all the nieces and nephews and grandkids and whatnot, we'll still get gifts for them, but we're not going to get gifts for each other anymore. And that's the point of this point.
To be honest with you, you get to a point where if you're just buying something to buy something, there's no meaning behind it. Don't do that. I agree. My family, we've done that. It's more of like, what the kids want, let's get them money, gift cards, clothes, whatever that might be. That's still important, especially like my nieces. We okay that. But when we talk about exchanging from an adult, hey, bring a bottle of wine, bring food. We'll do exchange that way. You know, for me, that's a meaningful gift rather than just saying, "Hey, I went to Five Below and got a gift for that." Don't do that.
Well, I agree with you. Although at the same time, just because something came from Five Below doesn't mean it wouldn't be a good gift.
No, it always comes back to meaning. If it's a meaningful gift behind it. If you want to, like a card, even a card, having a meaningful card that has a great message inside of it, I think holds more value than another pair of socks. But again, I'll take the socks though, because if the socks are Ghostbusters, I'm good with that.
When I used to ask my mom and dad, "So what are you getting me for Hanukkah?" my mom would always reply with socks and shoelaces. That's what she told me I was getting every year: socks and shoelaces.
Love it.
Here's an interesting one: leave your shopping cart unattended. Now, what it means is not your actual shopping cart, but your virtual shopping cart.
Okay.
In other words, you click on all the stuff you might want to buy and then let it sit overnight for two reasons. Number one, just naturally, you may think overnight, you know what, I don't really need that thing, or I might be able to find that thing cheaper. But what this article says is, as long as you're registered with the site where you're shopping, if the marketing team is decent, you'll receive an email within the next 24 hours or so with some kind of incentive to come back and purchase the item.
Go finish. Yeah. They may give you a coupon.
You'll get a coupon if you complete your purchase.
I like it.
So that might work with some other sites as well. But then again, it's the whole function of if I put it in the cart and I leave it and I wait and then I come back and see
it eliminates
the
impulse buy. You're right. I like that. That's a really good approach there.
Something that we mentioned earlier: keep a year-long holiday gift list. You can't ever really start too early.
No. But here's the tip I'll give you on that. You create a list. Live by that list.
Right.
Don't go over. Don't go. You can go under, I guess, if you're going to do that. But it's not like justification. Let's add more things. Let's add more money. If you're going to create that budget, you're going to create that list itself. Stick to it.
Right. Here's shop local seasonal consignment sales and shop online consignment sales.
Those are hard to, but that's more work. But yes, my wife is very, very diligent when it comes to that kind of shopping and looking for those deals. If you have the patience to be able to go through and look for those things, it definitely has some benefit.
So, funny story. We've got so for you, George, and maybe even for listeners in the coming weeks, we've got our community garage sale on Saturday.
Oh, there we go.
So I got to figure out what am I going to figure out, and I think I might have figured out what I'm going to try to teach my kids at the garage sale. So my younger son, all he wants is an electric scooter.
Okay.
His friend has one. Me and my son, we live about a mile from the school, so I've made this deal with him that 2 days out of the week, I'm going to walk him to school and then walk back. Well, one of his really good friends that lives, a quarter of the way to the school, has an electric scooter, and so we can never really keep up with him because he's zipping
away. Gotcha.
So that is something on our holiday list
looking
for my younger son. So we're having the garage sale this Saturday, and he says to me, "Can I go with my friend and go walking around the neighborhood.
Sure.
And I said, yeah, sure. Just coordinate with him and absolutely go walking around the neighborhood. Sure. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go looking for an electric scooter. I'm like, dude,
how much it retail these things?
A couple $100.
Okay, so not cheap.
No. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if anyone's, but hey,
You never know.
If someone is selling an electric scooter and you happen to find one, let me know. We'll take a look at it.
Bid in.
So my son's goal, which is what I think maybe this next garage sale podcast might be about, he wants an electric scooter. So we'll see if he can go out and find and negotiate for one.
And to do some negotiating and see if we can find one that's in decent shape. That's a good goal. I like it.
Yeah, we'll see. So let's see. Number 21 on the list is shop at your local drugstore for stocking stuffers.
They do have nice. Occasionally, you can get some things in there, but for me, those are like your impulse buys and stuff like that. You got to be careful in regards to what you. But once again, I go back to like if you're just gonna buy something to buy something, like hey, I bought your gift at the drugstore. It's like.
Although I will tell you, so one year my parents said to me, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want a Learjet and a Porsche."
Okay,
that's what I wanted for Hanukkah. I don't even think I was driving a jet, and I have no idea how to fly. But I want a Learjet and a Porsche. And so for the first night of Hanukkah that year, I get this little box, and I open it up. It's a matchbook,
Matchbox. Yeah, I love
Matchbox, Porsche, sorry, and a Matchbox Learjet.
Nicely
so
done.
They got me the Learjet and the Porsche.
You got what you asked for.
Yeah. This next one here, 22, shop big box stores. And so for me, that was awesome. So I went to Costco. My kids are super into Legos. And they had where you would buy, it was a Lego set at Costco. It was 4 of their Technic monster trucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I gave one kid 2 monster trucks. I gave the other kid 2 monster trucks. The set of 4 was cheaper than if I had bought each of those 4 sets individually at Target.
Oh, okay. That worked.
Yeah. So big box stores a lot of times have, and part of the problem is you get one for one, you got to get one for the other. But the way they sell them at the big box stores, the Lego sets come in, or like laser tag sets, or they had a great deal. We got them like a knockoff GoPro camera.
Okay.
And that was cheaper than if we had gotten, from Best Buy or whatever.
Gotcha.
So the big box stores typically have good deals around this time for holiday shopping.
The holiday shopping has started. A lot of those kind of deals. I know, again, it's really more like coupons, in-store, coupons that they have as well to try to entice you to come in as well.
Right.
So it's really looking at, I know, some of the big box around the neighborhood as well, they have like 30% off, toys.
Right.
Getting some of that started, even though the holiday toys still haven't been, they're not out yet. But again, if there's something that they're looking for the kids, it might be a good way to save 30% on that.
I got the other day in the mail an Amazon toy catalog. It's kind of weird. Just showed up randomly. Here's Here's one that I don't know. It says, propagate your houseplants.
The heck was what?
In other words, if you have an aloe plant, philodendron, spider, begonia, or geranium, an inexpensive way to create gifts for family members, teachers, coaches, and friends is to prune them, replant them, grow a new plant, and then give that plant away as a gift.
Okay, that's work. But if you're into kind of plants and all those kind of that's
I would say within 1 week, whatever kind of plant you give me is going to be dead.
It's going to be dead.
That's a good idea. Get crafty.
Yeah. Make presents. Especially with the kids. That's a good lesson to kind of like, hey, sometimes we don't realize our time is a nice, putting our time into something that we make or something that we do, doing something for some others. Mm-hmm. It's a good way to give back. Again, another way that it's not just spend money.
Right. Number 26, reduce the number of gifts you buy, something that you've been saying, you don't need to get it just to get it. You mentioned number 27 before, stick to your list.
Got to.
We talked about 28, save all year long. Number 29, shop after holiday sales.
Get ready for next year.
So I guess you can get cheap Halloween candy.
Yeah, definitely
on
November 1st.
1.
Let me tell you, I get the best candy again at 70% off. Christmas, buying those lights for next year.
Yeah.
It's planning ahead. So, because again, I usually like those, you like those LED type, ornaments or those lightings and stuff like that. If it's available, the risk you take is obviously maybe the good stuff gets purchased early in the season. So, but you could get, there's a lot of trees, things like that for Christmas for next year. You can get them half off or even more than that. So,
do you do the fake tree or the real tree?
Oh, we do fake, man. I don't play. I'll do fake and put the pint smell in the background. But no, we're not playing that game.
I've had a Christmas tree once in my life. It was when I was in college, way before I even knew my wife. The girl that I was dating at the time celebrated Christmas. We lived together.
Yep.
And so I was like, yeah, sure, let's get a tree. And I went berserk. I think it was a real tree. I had the whole city underneath. I bought trains. I bought buildings.
Nice.
I bought fake snow.
Okay.
I went absolutely berserk. My one Christmas that I had a real tree.
We do fake. Throw it into the garage. See you next year. We're good. We're good from that. Let me give you one more.
Sure.
From that list that maybe you haven't. What about regifting?
It was on there.
What's your thought about regifting? It has a bad rap, I think.
Yeah, although the challenge with regifting, I think you can't. Obviously, you don't want to give it back to the person that gave it to you.
You got to make sure you do that.
You got to make sure you got to make sure you're tracking what you get close enough that you don't give it back. And then I wouldn't regift something that had already been opened.
Yep.
I would probably say, So for example, one of my kids got a gift, I think this year or last year, and it was a little like Paw Patrol toy thing that was made for like 5 and under.
Okay.
Well, my youngest is 8.
Yeah, a little too.
He doesn't want to play with Paw Patrol anymore.
Yep.
We've got the annual. So my community has an annual Christmas parade where they'll go around the neighborhood. And they'll collect toys for Tots.
There you go. That's nice.
So we're going to regift
I like
it
that.
at Toys for Tots.
Getting little things like that. We don't want them stored forever. Another one, my mom used to, she got wine, from like holiday Christmas parties and things like that. So a lot of she didn't drink, bottles of wine. So she, there was a lot of regifting throughout the year in regards to like liquor and alcohol from that perspective. So little things like that. But you're right. Make sure you're not giving it to the same person or within the same family. Like, hey, aunt, lady kind of gave me this, and I'm giving it to dad. That's just one of those kind of things to keep in mind.
Although now that I think about it, I got a really cool gift from somebody that I ended up regifting. So they came over. And it was intended to be regifted. Mm-hmm. So they came over for a party. I forget, a birthday party, a cookout, a July 4th. I forget what it was. But they came over for a party, and they brought with them a plate. And the plate, I forget exactly what it said on it, but it literally said something like, friends and getting together and blah blah blah, and use this plate for putting food on and sharing and blah blah blah.
Of course.
And when you're done, pass it along. So when we went to the next house for a party, we brought that plate and we left it there.
I like it.
And then they brought it to the next house.
But that's a meaningful gift. I like stuff like that. That I would say, because that just brings a smile, and it also allows the kind of a good lesson in life with that too. Perfect. I love it.
So,
sell it. Patent it.
Patent it,
bro.
So then I found this other article at fidelity.com. And this one is 12 ways to save on holiday gifts.
Yeah, so many ways.
I know, so many ways. But some of them we've already mentioned. So number 1 is set and don't forget your budget. Number 2, make a list and check it twice.
Just like Santa.
The Christmas reference there. Shake up group gift exchanges. So the last list also mentioned like the white elephant gift exchange kind of stuff.
I think I like that more. If you're going to do still gift exchanging, have more of a white elephant type, gift exchange. Have some rules where you only have to worry about gifting for 1 rather than gifting for 10. That's a great way to do if you're doing holiday, like Christmas parties at work.
Yeah, office parties.
It makes it a lot easier so that there's no pressure to be able to like, oh, I got to get Susan this,
Right.
and this guy that, and no, don't do that. Don't do that.
So then there's let's see, compare prices. Yeah, I mean that's kind of obvious.
Yep.
Pause before buying, which we talked about before.
Loved your idea in regards to put in the shopping cart, not only for the savings but the opportunity.
Yeah. Although interestingly, there's been a few websites that I've been on lately, especially on the internet. What is this? It's not Internet Explorer. It's not Chrome. It's whatever one I use, Google or whatever. That as you see here, I've actually got it up in this little corner. A Microsoft Edge. There's this little coupon thing on Microsoft Edge. When you've got your stuff in your cart, you click this little icon on the Microsoft Edge, and it will search the internet for coupons.
Oh, very nice.
And it's worked a handful of times, and I've gotten coupons for like $1, $1.50, $2. Nothing.
Nothing huge.
75% off. None of those. But still, $1 or $2 here, $1 or $2 there.
We'll take it.
So, pause before buying. We talked about that one. Shop on Green Monday. What is Green Monday?
No clue. What is Green Monday?
Green Monday. Well, it defines it here.
Let's do that.
Green Monday is the second Monday of December.
Green Monday. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. The second
more research on that one.
Green Monday is the second Monday of December, which this year in 2023 is December 11. That is Green Monday. That's also the start of one of my trials.
Okay.
So let's see. Use your old gift cards. That was one you brought up. Shop in unconventional places. We've talked about that a little bit. Skip expensive wrapping. Do you do your own wrapping, or do you get the presents wrapped?
We do our own wrapping, and we usually do not go expensive. Now that I'll go Dollar Tree, I'll go and just buy some wrap because again it's paper you're breaking, so why spend too much money?
I'll regift the gift bags.
That you desk.
My son
Most
got
definitely.
3 or 4 or 5 gift bags when we had his party, and so yeah, those.
My wife has received happy 12th birthday for her birthday, so we've definitely used those. All right,
Your wife is 12.
She's no, that's not no. She's 12 at heart. Let's put it like that.
There you go.
You get me into trouble there, brother.
Sorry. Get ahead of postage. I don't know. I mean, I guess postage rates keep going up.
Again, that's the least of my costs. If that's going to be but I think if you're like shipping internationally, if you're shipping, I think shopping between like UPS and postal service. So there are price differences, and it just depends on where you're sending and how heavy the device is, or what you're sending.
So those are the 2 articles that I found. I don't know if there's anything you.
The only thing I would say, holiday travel. We talked about like buying gifts, but the big thing that also we do is holiday travel, man. Like the principles still stay the same in the sense of like obviously budget, plan ahead. Especially with flights, the earlier you plan, the easier you're able to find those deals when it comes to flights. I would not personally travel on like Christmas or Thanksgiving. I'd rather be driving, but you can't drive to. I mean, you could drive to New York, but I guess from Florida. But I wouldn't advise it. But those are some of the things. Planning ahead for that. Of course, using your rewards cards, getting the points, using that kind of stuff is there's benefits there. One of the advices I'm seeing here too is like pack light.
Well, if you know you're going to get presents, if you know grandma's going to get you a sweater,
you're like, hey, can I get that sweater ahead of time? But yeah, I mean, so packing light just means you're saving on the whole cost of being on the flight, which. So that if you have multiple bags or checking in bags, it can be as much as like $40 or $50 each for those bags itself. So you got to be careful in regards to planning ahead, especially with travel.
Yeah.
I mean, those are for me. I think holiday travel is always interesting because of the timing. And I'm not a big fan of it, but getting family together doing the holidays is always you got to do it, right? That's what Hallmark movies are made of, is getting the family together. So those are the things that we usually kind of take into consideration. Is for me, I think it's just planning ahead will be the best thing for you.
Yeah, that's we don't normally travel a lot during the holidays because it's more of the wherever we're going to go on the holidays is going to be crowded. So I think we'd much rather personally stay home. Now we do travel every other Thanksgiving, but for Christmas and New Year's and whatnot, I remember I went to Disney over New Year's. It was a madhouse.
That's.
It was a madhouse.
I hear craziness about those things.
It was nuts. And I know my wife wants to go to like New York and see the ball drop, and I can imagine that area is just insanity.
Unless you have a friend who has an apartment or the offices that's another one that I just don't have any desire to I understand it's a huge experience that you can no desire. I'd love to see it on TV. We're good. There's just no desire.
I understand that like there's no bathrooms in the area.
No. Dude,
wow.
you're diapering in those.
Wow.
Because to think about it, if you move from a good spot, like your front row and those kind of things, it's not like they're gonna let you back in. No, you're there for the day. So yeah, you're not eating probably well, one, and you're probably trying to keep fluids at a low just because of the fact that you don't want to go to the bathroom. So
probably something for the bucket list,
gross.
But probably something that I would not.
No, thank you. No. I'm good. No, we're good. What was the other? There was one more. Flexible with flights. The other thing too is we're all into this nonstop. Oh, I want nonstop. I want to go to one spot, one flight. We're good. Sometimes having flexibility around one or two stops can also save you in the long run. It won't save you on time, but it may save you on cash because again, you're going from one location to another.
Yeah,
avoiding. For me, I think it's the weather too that plays into that.
I'll need to find this article. I found an article just kind of flipping through Facebook or social media months ago, so I'm going to have to find it again. But basically what the article said is airlines, and I forget what they called it, but the concept is if I want to fly from here to California, for example, or here to Hawaii, and so I get a layover in a layover in Dallas.
Yeah.
What the article was saying is what people are doing is they were saying, well, wait a minute. A flight from Florida to Hawaii, and this may not be the best example, but a flight from Florida to Hawaii with a layover in Dallas is cheaper than a direct flight from Florida to Dallas.
Really?
So what they're doing, and don't quote me on that.
Yeah, you research.
The concept.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is they're buying a ticket from Florida to Hawaii, but when they land in Dallas, they get off the plane because they want to go to Dallas. So they never use that segment of the flight to Hawaii.
Really?
And so they get off in Dallas. They do
and they just stay there.
Whatever vacation they're going to do in Dallas, and then they book the flight home. Airlines are starting to track that kind of stuff, and they're starting to red flag you if you do that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
So,
we got to find the title for that one. Like, what does that mean? Okay,
we'll figure that out maybe for another episode.
More scheming and scamming that we have
stuff
out there. I love that.
So, other than that, I think we're kind of at the end of this week's show, George.
I would say it was a successful run. And
welcome back from your extended sabbatical.
I'll take that. But no, it's good, man. It's like riding on an old bike. It's rusty and.
There you go. We do got to mention our sponsor, Sam Cohen with Attorneys First Insurance. He's been a longtime friend, a longtime sponsor of the show. So if you know an attorney or title company that wants to get a comparison of what their malpractice insurance is or was or will be, contact Sam at attorneysfirst.com. Thank you, Sam, for all of your support.
Absolutely.
If you want to support us, in addition to having attorneys and title companies, contact Sam. You can also go to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/crushingdebt. You can find that on the Patreon page. Other than that,
support us on the social medias. Again, Yesner Law. Look for you. Provide that support. Corbello Financial Coaching as well. We're here to help and provide that support, and obviously have some fun on podcasts like this.
There you go. So I think that'll wrap it up for this week's episode. We hope that you have a happy holiday, whichever holiday you celebrate, and start now. It's
Halloween.
As you're listening to, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, Christmas is less than 3 months away.
Amazing.
So start planning now, and we hope that you have more money at the end of the month rather than month at the end of the money. And we'll talk to you in next week's episode of the podcast.